Welcome, my friends, back to Beyond the Well, where forgotten histories and untold legends awaken. I never expected to find that well, hidden deep in the woods behind my house. But when I touched its sacred water, I saw more than my own reflection. I saw another world. A world shaped by light and shadow, by heroes and tyrants, by choices that still echo through time. Join me as I uncover the stories of Aldarion that lie beyond the well. The Ballad of Nalen Myrris, Episode 4, The Pauper and the Throne. The road had stretched on for weeks. Since the mountains, Nalen had found his way into Myrrhidian, following a pool he couldn't quite fully explain, though that didn't stop him from trying to, from time to time as he walked alone by himself through the forest paths. Something in the depths of his chest hummed when he listened, when he was quiet, when he let go of the bitterness. But that wasn't easy, not yet. He was getting better at it, but he still found himself drawn back to the bitterness he felt, deeply rooted from the betrayals he had in his past. He spent his days walking and his nights in taverns, playing his lute by firelight. It wasn't for the coin, though the coin came and it was appreciated. It was the breath, it was rhythm, it was for survival. Still, in the quiet of morning, old thoughts would creep back in, thoughts of what was lost, his home, his name, his honor. The betrayal had carved him hollow, and in his worst moments he imagined what it would be like to have it filled, to return. He saw himself calling on friends who would still stand beside him. He pictured himself standing tall in Lovak once more, setting things right, reclaiming what was his. Vengeance not for blood, but for justice. At least that's what he told himself. That morning, like many before it, he arose with the sun and sat by a creek beneath a leaning willow. He pulled from his pack a worn leather book called The Words of Life, a gift from his mother, pages dog-eared and soft from years of use. His eyes fell on a passage, and he read, "There once was a man who came before the eldest of the temple and said, 'I am old, and I have lived right. I honored the moons, kept the feasts, and offered what I could at the altar. I have spoken the prayers of Aldarion since my youth, but still I do not see him. I have watched the skies and waited by the sacred stones. Why does Aldarion remain hidden from me? I wish to see his face.' The eldest smiled and said, 'Long ago there stood a marble throne at the eastern gate of Valemire. One by one, 1,000 kings sat upon it, calling out to Aldarion, demanding to see his glory, to see his face. But he did not come. The kings debated, conquered, wrote, and toiled all their days to see the face they demanded to see. They all died waiting. But then one day, the poorest of poor, a pauper, approached, barefoot and with cracked hands and a broken bowl. He knelt at the foot of the throne and whispered, 'Aldarion, my eyes are too weak to behold you. If you came in your fullness, I would perish. Come to me not in power, but in pity, so that I, in my weakness, might know you.' And Aldarion came, not as a pillar of fire, not as a roaring storm, but as a crust of bread, a drink of cool water, a threadbare cloak, a stranger holding pain nobody else could see, a woman cradling her child, and a glorious sunrise breaking through the darkest of nights, its rays like beams of magic stretching across the world. 'Thank you,' the pauper said. 'You have clothed yourself in mercy so that I might behold you. I see you now, and I worship the 1,000 faces of your grace.' Nalen sat still, the book resting in his lap. The breeze brushed his hair, and the creek carried the silence forward. He had been one of the kings, he thought. Demanding, wounded, entitled to a vision, to power, to answers. With his clarity, he felt embarrassed that he, a mere mortal, had the audacity to command Aldarion. He sat there in the silence and whispered aloud, not to the wind, but to Aldarion himself. "Help me see like the Pauper did, please." Something stirred in the air around him, subtle but sure, like a held breath waiting to be released. He reached for his lute, his hand slightly trembling. He didn't tune it, he didn't think, he just simply began to play. The first few notes came soft and slow, but soon the melody moved like water over stone. As he played, his vision blurred, not from tears, but from something deeper, something opening. The Nexus, the hum of life, buzzed all around him. His music carried into a vision. He stood once more in Lovok. He looked down on what would be himself, returning in fury, friends at his side and moving to reclaim what was once his. But they were cut down, one by one. He saw the blood on their faces and their stone-dead eyes looking into oblivion. He knew those faces. He loved them. Then the throne, his throne, reclaimed, yet empty. Victory without peace, justice without joy. His heart darkened, cold and empty. He gasped and began to shake. He saw the darkness surround him. He felt its long tendrils curling around his legs and up his body, wrapping around his throat and choking him. A cloud of shadow moved in, around, blotting out all the daylight, all the joy, all the heartwarming love he had ever known or felt. In desperation, he called out, "Aldarion, save me!" And in that instant, a bright light pierced the darkness, and he began to hear again his lute playing heavenly music. The shadow retreated, and he was again bathed in the warm and life-giving light. He now found himself standing in front of a small cottage, in a wood he had never seen nor been to, but even so he knew its exact location and how to get there. It was all given to him as clearly as anything he had ever known or seen. It was small, weathered and nestled in a sun-dappled glade. Birds called in the branches overhead, and a woman, elderly, her back bent with years, stood at a well. She was humming. The tune matched the one he played. Then she turned and looked up, smiling. Her eyes were kind, knowing, as if she had been waiting. There she turned and looked directly at him. Her smile widened, and she beckoned him forward, inviting him to come. Then the vision faded. The final chord rang out and silence returned. But Nalen knew. He knew that place, not from memory, but with a certainty of spirit. There was something there, something for him, a step forward, a mercy made visible. He rose, packed his lute, and began walking yet again, towards the cottage, towards that woman, towards the well, and towards Aldarion. Well, that's it for today. Thank you for coming with me beyond the well. If you enjoyed this story, please consider liking, following, or subscribing. And if you have a moment, I would love a review. Your feedback truly makes a difference. If you want to dive deeper into the well, visit beyondthewell.net for show notes, transcripts, maps, character descriptions, and much, much more. And until next time, keep seeking, keep dreaming, and keep telling your story.